The government has been accused of massaging the message. 3 News can reveal that a draft version of a plan to increase mental health workers showed nearly 1,500 workers were needed and included a breakdown of where. But when the final report was released, those numbers were missing. Senior political correspondent Jenna Lynch has more.
The country's first mental health minister knows everyone will judge his legacy differently.
One thing I do know in this role is everyone will have their own metric, and so you should. That's been called democracy.
But moving metrics aren't always a good thing. The minister coming under fire from Labor today for massaging messaging around workforce shortages. In September last year, Matt Ducey trumpeted the release of a mental health workforce plan and its commitment to increase the number of mental health professionals trained.
I've been very open. The biggest barrier to timely mental health and addiction support is our workforce crisis. We have too many vacancy rates.
But 3 News has obtained a draft version of the plan which shows Health New Zealand decided to hide the size of the problem. The draft version of the plan had an entire page showing the workforce shortage titled What We Need. It outlined that 1,485 more frontline mental health and addiction workers were needed, among them 470 specialist nurses, 145 psychiatrists and 145 clinical psychologists. And each page had an estimate of how many workers the health system was short by. But in the final version, that was all gone.
Why did you take that out?
Well, I didn't take that out, so I don't know where that is. But actually, a lot of that information is publicly available. I know when I was in opposition, I was using that data as well.
An email trail we've obtained shows exactly why. It was in order. On September the 11th, the communications manager sent an email to the Minister's office with a brief outline of changes made after feedback from then Health NZ Commissioner Lester Levy, saying the aforementioned What We Need page will come out of the document. The bubbles on the other pages saying what the health system was short by would also be removed, and they would make, quote, narrative changes to refocus towards highlighting growth against target numbers as opposed to deficit framing, effectively removing all reference to workforce shortages.
Why don't you want to be transparent about it and tell people the size of the challenge when you're putting out those documents?
Well, I'd be more than happy for Health New Zealand to be transparent and give that information. That's not an issue for me.
It's a government focused on trying to look good rather than trying to do good.
Labor says the shortage numbers show the government's target of training 500 mental health professionals a year lacks ambition.
The fact that they are not mentioning what the frontline need is and that their target falls to only a third of that frontline need speaks for itself.
Only speaking for itself once the draft was revealed.
Okay, Jenna joins us now. Jenna, there are questions swirling tonight about the conduct of another minister and whether they've breached the cabinet manual. What is going on here?
Yeah, that's right. Education and Immigration Minister Erica Stanford is the one in the gun here for her use of a personal email address. Now, that is obviously against the rules of the Cabinet Manual for obvious reasons because of the security risks involved. But I've seen the OIA, the Official Information Act response that has hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of pages of Erica Stanford using her personal Gmail address for ministerial business. Now, despite the scale of this, the Prime Minister said today that he's pretty relaxed about it.
I'm very relaxed about it. The reality is, she has, she's received unsolicited emails, she's had printing issues, she's had tech issues, she's made changes subsequently, she's got the IT support that she needs in place, and I'm very comfortable with it.
Now, it sounds like a lot of this has come down to a printing issue. So the minister couldn't print from her ministerial email address at home. They wouldn't install her a parliamentary printer at her electorate office because they hadn't extended the lease, and then there was some renovation issues. And so she has forwarded herself these documents to print before she's appeared in media and the like. One of the bigger problems here is she has forwarded herself some sensitive budget material ahead of time, ahead of last year's budget. So on the face of it, the Prime Minister appears to be brushing this away and she appears to be safe for now. But once everyone gets through those hundreds and hundreds of emails, it will become a little bit clearer how much trouble Erica Stanford has got herself in.